The Rising of the Shield Hero, Volume 1, Chapter 15, Traits of a Demi-Human. We took turns sleeping until morning came. At around noontime, a certain incident occurred. We were hunting some Usipiru, which had appeared before us. But doesn't Usa mean... Usa might actually mean rabbit. Whatever. The bladed knife in Raptalia's hands suddenly, no, not suddenly, had snapped off completely. Pokin, I guess, whatever. Show it to me. It couldn't be helped. The knife had done its job and broke only after killing the last Usipiru, which had been gnawing at my arm. I'm sorry. Nothing lasts for an eternity, so it was inevitable that this knife to break. It was a cheap knife, not to mention it had never been polished. We'll stop here for now and before returning to town. Hi. The bag that Raptalia carried was splendidly stuffed full of loot. On a side note, I've become a level 11, and so has Raptalia. Along the way, we encountered several monsters, but we somehow managed to get by with my spare knife. Later on, we sold off our spoils, including the compound medicine, for a grand total of 70 silver coins. Chatty. I think that's the coins jingling. Yeah. I wonder which one we should get. You mean a knife? Raptalia murmured while eating her lunch inside a street stall. We should be able to cover our living expenses by camping outdoors, and there wouldn't be a problem with food if we skinned the Usipiru for their meat. I stopped thinking about that for now. Since I don't have a favorite store or know any other good places to shop, I at least wanted to know more about the details of our purchased equipment. Well, guess we should go to the weapons shop. I heard a grumbling noise coming from behind me. My tummy's empty. Didn't you just eat a moment ago? Is it a growth spurt? Just how many times a day are you planning to eat? Right. Engel's coefficient would skyrocket with her in the equation. We need to start hunting again as soon as possible. At this rate, our food expenses alone will bring us to ruin. And that's what happened, Oyaji. I'd like some weapons and protective gear within the range of 65 silver coins, plus a cheap knife. For some reason, Oyaji groaned with his palm on his head. Well, it's none of my business, but please properly maintain your equipment at least. Sorry about that. I thought the blood-clean clothing would take care of everything, so I didn't plan for it beforehand. Right, the balloon, mush, and eggy were creatures made from inorganic substances after all, and the bodily fluids of the eggy could definitely be wiped off without much effort. However, the blood of the Usipiru stained the weapon. Not only that, but the blade seemed to deteriorate even faster because of the improper care. Also, eggs and mushrooms are organic, but whatever. But I'm amazed that this girl's complexion is so much better after just 3 days. And haven't you gotten quite plump now? Raptalia nodded at him with a proficient smile. Just what was Oyaji talking about? Oh, that's a fine expression. Alright, let's get down to business. Oyaji, please prioritize the weapon's durability when you show us the wares meant for her. And how about you? I don't need any. You don't want anything? Raptalia looked at me and asked, does it look like I'll be needing any gear? Up until this point, I had yet to receive a single wound from a monster's attack. Didn't those dipshit heroes once say shields are easy at the beginning but suck towards the endgame? That's why I didn't feel the need to buy myself equipment until we get to the point where I start taking damage. Raptalia groaned, looking unconvinced. Her hands were preciously holding onto the ball which I had bought for her before. Well, I guess this must be karma at work. I'll give you a little something as a bonus. I'll be haggling if the cost is too high. I'm already selling to you at dirt cheap prices here, or else you'll be throwing those balloons around after being pushed too hard, won't you? The merchant incident from before must have started that rumor. Well, it's fine, since the end result will be the same either way. An eye for an eye, that's all I'm doing. Not that it matters to me, but even if I come with a countermeasure, you'll just find another way around it. That'll be just like you, right? You certainly know me well. Anyone can tell with a glance that you, sir, are a shrewd businessman under that guise of a hero. I'll take that as a compliment. Well then. Oyaji rubbed his chin while looking at Raptalia. It looks like this Jo-chan will be assessing herself with a sword rather than a knife. Will it be alright? Seems she's quite enthusiastic about it. A sword proves to be a rather fine weapon for a beginner, no? Oyaji searched through a corner of his shop. Gotcha. So that's it. Will I be using this sword? Looks like it. I'll be tutoring her on how to use one. Then a tanned hide breastplate was brought to us from the back of the store. An iron short sword and a hide breastplate. Although they're a bit old, please bear with it. The size fits you at least. Oyaji handed Raptalia the sword while the breastplate was worn on top of her casual clothes. Again? Duh, she is a demi-human, right? Since she's still a child, this much difficulty should be expected if she keeps leveling up. Wait, what? Is that common sense around here? This world sure worked on weird standards that I couldn't comprehend. A long time ago, I did hear about the tale of Hinda the cow. where she'd die if she wasn't continuously fed. Crow. Right. Also kind of a cow. So there is some truth to that story. I guess it can't be helped. Just stay here and listen obediently to the lecture. I'll go buy some food while you practice. Hi! Seeing our conversation, Oyaji bursted out laughing for some reason. Okay, listen up. I'll now teach you about the basics. I left the weapon shop and hurried toward the market. Demi-humans are a truly strange race, using their hunger to compensate for level raising. Although her condition grew favorably and her self-consciousness also gradually became more resilient, but still, the food expenses were no joke. To make a long story short, I bought some food from the vending stalls and returned to find Oyaji teaching Raftalia how to grip and swing a sword. Here you go. Thank you. She then munched away as Oyaji diligently taught her evasive maneuvers. Even in such a situation, the mood didn't change at all. What about you? I've got those evasive moves memorized. Well, you do seem like the blocking type. It would be rather dangerous for you to gawkingly upset your balance. That marked the end of Oyaji's crash course on sword handling. I then paid the bill. After that, Oyaji passed me a small slab of white stone. What's this? A whetstone. The coating wasn't applied on the weapon this time, so it'll break in no time if you don't regularly maintain it. The shield reacted when I slowly grabbed the whetstone, which is why I ended up absorbing it. Hey! The requirement for shield of whetstone has been unsealed. Oh, this was the first shield that wasn't in English. Well, whatever, it's still a shield. I should absorb more minerals from now on. Ah, I see. This isn't a new branch, but one that combined with the Sky Egg Shield and Usa Meat Shield. Was it because the whetstone was indispensable as a kitchen knife? The huge defensive power of the Egg Shield was quite frightening. It's likely that I would get the Usapiru Shield if I absorbed the whole Usapiru without dismembering it. Shield of Whetstone. Equipment bonus, mineral identification +1, unmastered. Special effect, automatic polishing, 8 hours, high consumption. A special effect? I check the help confirm button. Special effect, an exclusive effect that will only be usable when equipped with a specific weapon. The effect won't be usable by other weapon if its true power have been unsealed. Therefore, one will need a specific weapon into a slot for the special ability to take effect. So it's something like that? The type of effect that grants immense power like in those OO games. I don't know. I quickly changed my shield. Huh? What the heck is that? Shield of Whetstone. It looks like the small shield, but a whole lot bigger. A whole huge shield made of whetstone. But there's a pattern of slots in the top of the shield, which multiple holes varying in shapes and sizes. Some are fat, while others are thin. Hey you! Tell me what's going on. Just what did automatic polishing, 8 hours, high consumption mean? Although I'm expected to do what it's advertised. Hey! Huh? What's up, Oyaji? What's on this flat mill remark? What on this flat mill remark is that shield? Don't you know already? It's the legendary shield. Never seen or heard of anything like this. You saw it before, though it was the small shield back then. Huh? The wild mill remark did it turn into whetstone? I guess it's because it absorbed the whetstone. At any rate, Oyaji wouldn't be able to comprehend this situation anytime soon. You must have heard that the legendary weapons hold mysterious powers. This is just one of its powers. You didn't hear this from the other heroes? I hadn't seen them recently. You were the first one to transform your weapon right in front of me. Our natural adversary will be spawning in about 1 week, so shouldn't they be sharing what they know with the others, even if just a little? Seemed those bastards were too selfish to even assist their peers properly. I don't even have an ounce of trust in those type of people either. But then again, it may not be necessary for them since they weren't in the loser category like me. So what are you troubled about? Haha. It seems to have an effective automatic polishing, 8 hours, high consumption, but I don't know if it's really possible to polish without using anything else. I don't know what would be consumed. Oyaji went to grab a rusty sword from within his shop and inserted it inside one of the slots in my shield. I'll give you this trash weapon as a bonus. Use that and see what it does. Oh, you have my thanks. There was an icon which popped up in the corner of my screen. Polishing. There was a lot of pressure. Then I felt a heavy weight on my shoulders. I immediately glanced at the icon and opened to my status. In there, I saw my SP gradually reducing. I previously thought it was something physical would be consumed, but I guess this shield can be used in this way too. Now then, guess we'll be taking our leave. We're going? Stepping out of the weapon shop, I continued to stroke Raftalia's head for a short while. So now, in order for us to raise our level and procure food for the ever-growing Raftalia, I'll need to go on another journey. Alright, Oyaji. Glaring heedlessly at me, Oyaji said with an exasperated tone. You still need something? Do you know about the dungeon that's located near the forest village? I asked while opening up a cheap map and pointing at the spot where that bitch had recommended. I wanted to have another person's reference just in case, though actually trusting them is another matter entirely. The monsters are different from the forest. I hear they're similar to the ones which show up along the village's highway. I see. Guess we'll see for ourselves once we get there. Right now, we have to evolve my shield and earn as much money as possible before the next wave. Yay! So he's got a shield that can fucking polish weapons. This guy's shield can literally do anything, which is pretty useful, I guess.